We're going to the moon. The US and China are trying to see who can get to the moon's south pole first. Will this be another Cold War or will it be an international flop? Find out on this episode of Last Week in Science. Welcome to Last Week in Science. I'm William Logian, and the big topic on everyone's mind right now is the space race, specifically the new race to the moon. Now, who are the key players in this race? Our first contender in the blue corner with over 50 years of experience and 6 successful moon landings, the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, please bring your attention to the new kid on the block. In the red corner, the strongest communist nation in the world, boasting an impressive $8 billion space budget, the People's Republic of China. Let's see what these nations bring to the table with this space race and why they want to get to the moon so badly. Both countries are interested in the moon's south pole for various reasons. The first one is resources. The South Pole is suspected to be covered in ice and valuable minerals like lithium and sulfur, which were detected by India's recently launched moon lander. The first country to get there gets dibs on all of that, and the US and its allies are worried China won't share. The South Pole is also a key component to long-distance space exploration, and a lunar base would help spacecrafts restock and refuel on the long journey to Mars. However, theory can only take you so far, so let's see what the US and China actually have shown to prove they're making it to the moon. The US is a giant in space exploration. They've already been to the moon 6 times. NASA has some of the best talent and the best research in the world, and their track record speaks for itself. The US also has the largest commercial sector in space. Privately owned companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin have been making the fastest progress in spaceflight, and they have billionaires backing them without all the pesky government bureaucracy. But that may change. NASA is not the first priority in the US budget, and they are notorious for funding issues and delays. However, NASA is still in the game. On November 16, 2022, NASA returned to lunar exploration with their Artemis 1 mission, launching the unmanned Orion spacecraft. It completed 2 flyby orbits of the moon and re-entered the Earth's atmosphere 25 days after its launch. NASA is hoping to do a manned flyby with its Artemis 2 mission in 2024 and land on the moon with Artemis 3 in 2025. Successful missions from the US's allies, India and Japan, are proving that space exploration is becoming safer and more accessible. But China has a few things they don't. China is much newer to space exploration than the US, having a space agency for only 30 years versus NASA, which is 65 years old. However, China has money. They're willing to employ a more aggressive spending strategy with their space program to get to the moon first. China is developing a series of rockets, most notably the Long March 10. It will carry their moon lander for their expected landing in 2030. China wants to do an Apollo-style mission where they land, collect samples, and leave, as opposed to the US, which is aiming to set up a permanent lunar base. Their mission, Chang'e 5, part of China's lunar exploration program, has collected 1.7 kilograms of lunar soil back in November of 2020. China has sent unmanned missions to the moon, putting them in a similar position to the US. Let's shift our attention onto some more recent missions. On August 23rd of this year, Indian lunar lander Chandrayaan-3 successfully touched down on the lunar surface, making India the first nation to land on the South Pole. On September 2nd, the lunar rover was put into sleep mode to protect the electronics from the harsh environment of the lunar night. Indian officials were confident the rover would wake on September 22nd, a week ago as of this recording, and they unfortunately cannot connect to the rover as of my current knowledge. In more positive news, Japan successfully deployed an X-ray equipped satellite on September 7th to provide new imagery of the moon. The mission, dubbed XRISM, allows scientists to observe energy flows among celestial objects in different scales. Smaller space agencies are making big moves in space, which is making moon exploration more and more achievable with every mission. This will be an interesting battle to watch. I'm obviously rooting for the US, but Chinese innovation may help everyone go farther into the cosmos. I'll make sure to keep you posted with any updates. I'm William Logian, this was Last Week in Science, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.